Welcome to today's edition of How the Game Was Won. Today we're at the 10th Tal Memorial 2016 for the game played on the 30th of September 2016 between Gelfand with white and Li with black. Without further ado, let's get stuck into the opening and see how the game played itself out. Beginning d4, knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, d5, knight f3, bishop g7, queen b3, d takes c4, queen takes c4, castle short, e4, knight a6, bishop e2, c5, d5, e6, castle short, e takes on d5, e takes on d5, knight b4, rook d1, knight c2. As you can see, we've got a Grunfeld Russian system in the process of being built here, continuing with rook b1, knight d4, which is a fascinating idea. Black sacrifices a pawn simply to discoordinate white's pieces, and it worked out brilliantly. Knight takes on d4, c takes on d4, rook takes on d4. For instance, if white had played queen takes on d4, bishop f5, rook a1, knight e4, queen b4, rook e8 gives black ample compensation for the pawn. But after rook takes on d4, the game continued with bishop f5, rook a1, knight e8, and bishop f4, and which is sacrificing the exchange, even though in reality the rook looks to be completely untouchable. Continuing, knight d6, queen c5, rook e8, bishop b5, knight takes on b5, knight takes on b5, rook c8, queen takes on a7, and no other move other than the queen taking on a7 looks even remotely playable. Say for instance queen b4, queen b6 looks really bad for white. So after queen takes on a7, rook a8, queen c5, rook a2, rook takes on a2, which is a really simple back rank trick. Rook a to d1. Better would have been, for instance, rook f1, bishop takes on d4, queen takes on d4, rook e4, queen d2, queen b6, knight d6, with possibly rook d4 and queen e3, and suddenly it's black's the one that's looking to be getting checkmated here. But after rook a d1, bishop takes on d4, queen takes on d4, rook e4, queen d2, queen b6, knight c3, rook takes on b2, knight takes on e4, rook takes on d2, knight takes on d2, queen d4, bishop e3, queen d5, and Li comes out of all of the exchanges a whole lot of material up. And for the remainder of the game, Gelfand attempts to create some sort of a fortress around his king, but he just simply hasn't got the material in which to be able to do that, and Li proceeds to crack that the attempt at a fortress completely wide open. Continuing with rook c1, b5, rook c5, queen d7, h3, b4, rook c4, queen d6, g4, bishop e6, rook d4, queen f8, knight e4, b3, rook d2, f5, knight c5, queen b8, knight takes on e6, b2, rook takes on b2, queen takes on b2, g5, queen b1 check, king h2, queen e4, knight f4, queen f3, knight g2, king f5, knight h4, queen d1, bishop f4, king e6, king g3, king d5, knight f3, king e4, knight d2, king d3, king g2, king e2, bishop e3, queen a4, king g3, queen b4, bishop f4, queen c5, bishop e3, queen d6 with check, bishop f4, queen d4, bishop e3, f4 check, bishop takes an f4, queen takes an f2 with check, king g4, queen g1 check, king h4, and queen g2. And at this point, with his attempt at a fortress completely busted wide open, this is where Boris Gelfand called it a day, resigned the position, and Li picked up the point, and Gelfand's woeful performance way down at the bottom of the tournament cross table, half a point out of the first 4 games. He's really struggling at the moment, but that, my friends, is how the game was won. Feel free to like and share this video, post any comments, questions, criticisms that you may have in the comment section down below. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button, and last but by no means least, remember, stay carved up for the win. I'll see you next time. Cheers.
Go vegan!